The idea for the Great Britain academic tour really came as a result of professional interests on the part of colleagues who co-lead the tour with myself, and our particular interests in the history, the literature, the arts, the Christian perspectives that uniquely come out of Great Britain. And so this is really an interdisciplinary tour that does integrate all those perspectives. So the sites that we tour and the sites that we see really give a larger perspective and kind of a Christian worldview perspective on not only the history and origin of Great Britain, but also our deep connections with that particular international kind of context. For me, some of the most meaningful times come in actually looking at the participants' faces light up when they get to, for the first time, see things that they've only looked at in either picture books or maybe on the internet, or maybe novels or literature that they've read, or personalities that they've interacted with in their classes here at Corban. And so kind of the highlight for me is not only being there on site, but really seeing it come alive for the participants who participate. For example, when we're in C.S. Lewis's house, it's just amazing just to see the smiles and the laughter and just the enjoyment that people get as they're actually walking and talking throughout the house that C.S. Lewis lived in.
Cool.
I think the surprise in the trip for me has to do more with some of the deep connections that I also, as a professor and also as the tour leader, some of the personal connections that I have with the locations that we go to. Whether that's in London, being on the steps of St. Paul's Cathedral or in Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, thinking of just the wonderful theater that took place in that venue. Or one of the highlights for me is worshiping in St. Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh, Scotland, where John Knox held his pulpit for so many years, and just having that kind of historical and deep connection to people who are personally and meaningful for me. And so the surprises come when each time we do this, there are new things that I learn, new things that are discovered, different kinds of nuances and perspectives that are taken in for me. So that's kind of a surprise for me. I think people should go on this trip, certainly because it's a fun trip and the uniqueness of it, but also just the rich and deep culture and history and the opportunity to be in those places and those spaces that draw a connection for them personally. I think deeper engagements in ways, for some folks it's very spiritual, being in some of the places where rich Christian history has taken place. For others, making connections to literature that they've read, seeing art pieces that they get to see for the very first time. And so I think just overall it's a bucket list kind of opportunity. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. The fellowship and the fun that we have together is just amazing overall. So the value and the price tag that we put on it is well worth it in that regard. So there's a whole bunch of different reasons why I think people should go and could go and can go. I don't know if that answers it, but.